In the world of music, Harry Chapin was riding the wave of growing fame through his unforgettable voice and incredible storytelling. Known for some of the iconic hits like Cats in the Cradle and Taxi, he mesmerized the audiences wherever he performed. But during one of his scheduled concerts, tragedy struck, and the music world would lose one of its finest. Join us as we cover the journey of Harry Chapin, from his early success to the chilling details of that fateful day. Harry Forster Chapin was born on December 7, 1941, in New York City, into a family deeply rooted in music. His father, Jim Chapin, was a famous percussionist who used to play drums for big band acts such as Woody Herman, which initially sparked Harry's early interest in music. Shortly thereafter, in 1950, Harry's life took an unexpected turn when his parents decided to separate when he was just 8 years old. His mother, Jeannie Elspeth, was granted custody of her children, and soon Harry, along with his brothers, started living with her. And it was there, while taking trumpet lessons at the Greenwich House Music School, he developed a deep passion for music. Very few knew this, but little Harry was always awkward around people, which later earned him a funny nickname, Gapin' Chapin. And rather than feeling embarrassed, he would later use this experience as inspiration in his musical journey. Harry once shared in an interview that, as a young boy, he would accompany his brothers in their early family performances, where his father sometimes played the drums. That being said, before he could become the rising talent in the world of music, Harry dreamed of becoming a documentary filmmaker. In fact, he even started working at a footage library company while giving guitar lessons on the side. And this would be where he met Sandra Gaston, whom he later married in 1968. Then, in the same year, he gained some recognition when he directed a documentary, Legendary Champion, which ended up earning an Academy Award nomination. Shortly thereafter, Harry shifted his entire focus to music, and in 1971, he formed a band with bassist John Wallace, whom he had met through his brother's connections. They began performing in the local clubs and soon attracted the interests of major record labels, particularly Elektra Records. Known as one of the largest record labels at that time, Harry signed a life-changing contract with them in the year 1972. And in the same year, he released his debut album, Heads and Tails, which turned out to be a worldwide hit, selling over 1 million copies almost immediately. His music quickly resonated with everyday people, who soon came to admire his storytelling style of singing. In fact, because of this aspect, the featured song like Taxi even reached the top 25 spot on the charts and became one of the top 10 requested songs on the radio. After his initial success, Harry appeared in television shows such as Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and The Midnight Specials, where his live performances cemented his status as one of the most compelling live artists. From the year 1972 to 1974, Harry produced multiple hits through albums such as Short Stories and Verities and Balderdash. Interestingly, one of his featured songs, Cats in the Cradle, even earned him a Grammy nomination and a place in Grammy Hall of Fame. In fact, one of the most influential figures, Guthrie Thomas, later stated that the song was the most difficult to perform as it reflected on the father-son bond, which was originally inspired by Harry's own childhood experiences. Behind his stardom, Harry was deeply involved in social activism, particularly at tackling world hunger. In the year 1977, he played a major role in creation of the Presidential Commission on World Hunger, and even co-founded Y, which stands for World Hunger Year. Rumor has it, before the year 1980, Harry had raised over $5 million for charity, which would be $19.6 million in today's time. I've got nothing against selling out, but just let me do it for something that matters, he once shared his thoughts in an interview. Over the years, he released many albums, took part in numerous charity concerts, and captivated audiences wherever he went. That said, while en route to one such concert on that fateful day, something unexpected happened. On July 16, 1981, Harry Chapin was scheduled to perform at the charity concert later that evening in Eisenhower Park in East Meadow, New York. The distance from his house in Huntington Bay to the park was approximately 25 miles, which primarily goes through the Long Island Expressway. He left his house early in the afternoon, where he had planned to take a small detour to attend an important business meeting in Manhattan. While behind the wheel of his blue 1976 Volkswagen Rabbit, Harry seemed tired, possibly because of poor sleep and insane work schedule. At that moment, He couldn't have known what tragedy was waiting for him just a few miles down the road. At around 12:30 p.m., while driving on the Long Island Expressway near exit 40 at a speed of 65 miles per hour, Harry swerved slightly to the left to avoid a tractor trailer that was traveling at around 55 miles an hour. Shortly thereafter, according to some witnesses, he suddenly slowed down his car to 15 miles an hour and activated emergency hazard lights, possibly because of some mechanical issues or medical emergency. He then veered into the middle lane, where he barely avoided a speeding vehicle. And after a few seconds, he swerved back to left and then right, where he then ended up in the center lane again. That said, this decision turned fatal, as his car suddenly came into the path of the tractor trailer which he had passed earlier. In that split second, the 57-year-old truck driver Robert Eggleton didn't have enough time to react or even apply the brakes. The consequences were dire, where the trailer then slammed into the rear portion of Harry's car, which then got crushed against the pavement and ruptured the fuel tank. Shortly thereafter, the sparks from the grinding metal parts of the car and trailer ignited the spilled gasoline, which caused the car to erupt in flames. Robert, showing quick thinking and courage, immediately stopped the trailer and ran towards the burning wreckage. With the joint effort of a passerby and Robert, they managed to cut the seatbelt and pull Harry through the driver's side window before flames could fully engulf the vehicle. And although Robert suffered some minor burns on his face and arms, Harry's condition seemed far worse, where according to some witnesses, he was unresponsive and had some burns on his body. He was quickly airlifted to the Nassau County Medical Center in East Meadow, where he underwent surgery to stop the internal bleeding. According to the reports, a team of 10 highly trained doctors were involved in the surgery, which lasted for approximately 30 minutes. That being said, Harry didn't show any signs of recovering, and at around 1:05 p.m. local time, he was pronounced dead at the age of 38. Unfortunately, it took about 6 hours before his family and loved ones could reach the hospital, as the authorities had not found any ID or driving license on him. In fact, the initial search report stated that Harry had only a gold watch on him during the incident, which made it difficult for authorities to identify him. In the end, they confirmed his identity through his car's license plate and immediately contacted his family. The investigation, which started just after the accident, revealed that Harry had a pretty rough driving record. According to the Motor Vehicle Department report, he had approximately 15 traffic violations since the year 1973, which included speeding, driving without a license, running over red light, and handling an unregistered vehicle. And because of these charges, his license was suspended a total of 4 times over a span of 7 years. Some sources even revealed that because of his restless lifestyle, he often used to forget his ID and important documents at home, which explains why he was not carrying any official documentation that day. Plus, when the details about his grueling schedule was made public, the media started assuming that Harry might have suffered a heart attack while driving. This theory in particular gained more traction after his family's statements revealed that he always seemed exhausted because of his demanding lifestyle. "My dad didn't really sleep, and he ate badly and had a totally insane schedule," his daughter later said in an interview. Some even suspected that fatigue could have also played a major role during the crash. That said, when the autopsy report conducted by Dr. Minoru Araki was made public, it completely debunked some of the theories. First of all, the primary cause of death was revealed to be the lacerated aorta, which was perhaps the result of tremendous force of the impact. The report further stated that there were only minor burns on his body, which ruled out the possibility that Harry had died from fire-related injuries. The report confirmed that Harry had suffered a cardiac arrest, but it had occurred because of the injuries he sustained during the accident. His heart was in a good condition, and no pre-existing heart attack had happened, Dr. Minoru said in his closing statement, which debunked the initial theories. That said, this only caused more confusion, as investigators as well as the media were left with more questions than answers. We may never know what exactly happened that day and why Harry slowed down his car. According to some witnesses, he might have experienced a sudden mechanical failure, or it could have been as simple as just fatigue. And although the authorities didn't find any mechanical problem in his car, they couldn't completely rule out the possibility, as most of his car had burnt down and had received heavy damage. Just a few days later, on July 21, 1981, his private funeral took place at Huntington Rural Cemetery, which was reportedly attended by his family and close friends. Plus, a memorial tribute service was held at Grace Church in New York, where apparently over 500 people, including his friends, fans, and fellow musicians, came to honor his music. Shortly thereafter, many heartfelt tributes started pouring in from all over the world, including some of the biggest names in the music world. Many could not help but shed tears for a man whose music touched the lives of millions of people. After a few months, a complete investigation report was made public, where it was revealed that the flatbed tractor trailer was actually owned by the Rickles Home Center of Paramus, New Jersey. In the aftermath of this tragic incident, no charges were filed against the truck driver, as investigations stated that it was an unavoidable situation, and Robert wasn't at fault. That said, the shocking part was, Harry's driving license had been revoked for a long time, and he shouldn't have been behind the wheel that day. That being the case, his wife Sandy still filed a lawsuit against the supermarket officials, where she reportedly received $12 million in settlement. Till this day, many fans continue to stop at the accident site on the highway to pay their respects to the remarkable singer. Harry Chapin was undoubtedly a legend, who was known not only for his music, but also for his work in hunger relief events. Shortly thereafter, the Lakeside Theater was renamed as Harry Chapin Lakeside Theater in his honor. In the end, one would say that Harry Chapin was arguably one of the greatest talents and storytellers the music world had ever known. And although his life was cut too short, his legacy lives on through the countless people he helped and the young generation he inspired. So, if you enjoyed the story of Harry Chapin, then make sure to check out stories of other singers on our channel. And don't forget to subscribe and drop a like while you're at it.